Boom! You know what's going on. Listen, bro. At the end of the day, thinking in the short term causes long-term problems. I repeat, thinking in the short term is causing you guys long-term problems. Thinking in the short term is what you call lusting. You're lusting after short term, so you're going to join the dating game, the short term. You're going to leave her. You're going to find out, hey, I was just lusting. So you guys are going to break up. You're going to be on long-term 18-year child support. You got to understand, smashing in the long term instead of waiting till you find your wife after you're established and you actually have real estate. At the end of the day, you got to understand, if you want to go to a different country, don't do what the passport bros are doing. Listen, at the end of the day, dudes trying to go to Japan so they can get casual sex. But what happens is they don't speak the language. If you're in Japan and you don't speak the language, I'm here to tell you, they don't take you serious. They see you as an opportunity because you want to come over there. Yeah, I'm American, passport bros for life. They see you as an opportunity, so they get to the USA when you can't afford real estate there. Now you got to bring her back to the USA. Then she's going to leave you for a financially established guy. At the end of the day, thinking in a short term will never play out in the long run. You're only thinking in the short term. You're not thinking about the long run. You're only thinking about the little bit. Listen, at the end of the day, you got to realize the short term will never work out. Dating will never work out. You don't date. Listen, dating is short words for casual sex. Listen, if a woman's dating, don't indulge in her, bro. She's dating. How's the dating game? Listen, you got to ask women, how's the dating game? If she can tell you how the dating games is, guess what? She's been smashed over 144 times a year by multiple guys. You got to understand, dating is, bro, these women out here are dating multiple guys. It's just dating. It's all a game. Steph is so cold wants you to run out to a game so bad. This is why men are not serious. This is why they don't have real estate. They're too busy focused on playing games. You guys are focused on manipulation instead of focused on a real estate. Then when you get the real estate and you back in the Lambo Urus out, straight skirt. When you back in the Lambo Urus out, you think you gotta run a manipulation type game on a woman when you stepping out the Urus. But see, here's the problem. When you think in the short term, you don't believe in the long term. Bingo. I repeat, when you think in the short term, you do not believe in the long term. You think you can't walk out the house and be attractive. You think if it takes you 7 years to get to Switzerland, you think you're not going to be attractive in Switzerland. That's what dating is. Dating is for local people. They think, hey, they're dating in Texas. They only think a woman in Texas will like them. At the end of the day, you've never traveled the whole world. You've never been to Brazil. You've never been to Europe. You've never been to Bulgaria. Listen, you've never been to Italy. I've never been to Italy. At the end of the day, listen, you got to travel the world first before you settle down and find your wife. You have to know what you're looking for. At the end of the day, if you don't know what you're looking for, that shows that you're local. Guys are trying to casually smash local women. That's going to get you a long-term problem. It turns from a one-night stand to, hey, can you come back over? Yeah, I'll slide back over. Send an Uber money. Guess what? Now, 3 years later, you guys are in a disrespectful relationship. See what happens when you think in a short term before you actually even get to know somebody? They be like, well, Mr. Birdman, they got the Birdman attitude about like, well, she finessed me. No, she didn't finesse you. Birdman was thinking in the short term. That's why long term, it came back to bite him. Divorce half of his assets because he was thinking in the short term. Oh, she bad. You've never traveled the whole entire world and seen what you could really get. You've never, stop settling. Listen, focus on a bigger picture. When you're thinking in the long term, you're thinking about real estate. You're thinking about, where are my kids going to live at? Where do you want your family to live at? Where do you want your wife to live at? How many languages do you want your wife to speak? If you want your wife to speak 4 to 6 different languages, Europe is your best bet. I repeat, if you want your children to speak multiple languages fluently, Europe is your best bet. Go to Switzerland. At the end of the day, they speak 6 to 10 different languages. They can communicate with 6 to 10 different cultures. Do you know how much of a superpower and a benefit that is for you and your family to generate wealth? At the end of the day, you got to be focused on a generational run. Everybody who's not focused on a generational run, they're going to run out. They're going to play the dating game. Then they're debating with OnlyFans model. You guys are debating with women who've been straight smashed, Darth Vader, by other guys who have lied to them. So now when they get to you, they got trust issues. They got their guard all the way up. What the hell? You guys need to mess with virgins once you're established. And once you destroyed your lust, you need to mess with virgins. With a virgin, like the Bible said, you marry a virgin. You don't marry the woman who's been straight smashed and torn apart. She's not your woman. Check her dog tag. Who popped that cherry? Not you. What are you doing? At the end of the day, you got to realize, semen retention gang, you know what's going on. Bang!